Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. And yeah, sorry, I'm flying solo again. Had visited my brother yesterday at his house for those who missed it. So the videos that went up Sunday morning were two long videos. My identical twin brother Gary was in them. Mayhem was had, many laughs, etc. It was fun fun doing a reading with him, or a pair of readings with him. Now back to the grind as I'm home here, looking up stories, trying to figure out what is it that y'all might want to see. Here's an interesting one. The House Freedom Caucus has a new chairman, and his name is Bob Good. Bob Good is he's a Freedom Caucus guy, so he's a right-wing extremist. He was one of the folks that voted to remove McCarthy as Speaker of the House. Interestingly, when they were trying to decide who they're going to elect as the leader of the Freedom Caucus, one of the questions asked of Good was, he supports Ron DeSantis over Donald Trump for the primary. And when he was challenged on that, his response was, well, I'd rather have a president who has the potential for 8 years in office rather than a president who has the potential for 4 years. Clearly, Bob Good's not paying attention. Because one, Trump wouldn't be president for 4 years. He would be inaugurated as a president and would immediately just declare himself dictator for life and then pass it along to Ivanka or whoever else in his family to perpetuate the Trump dynasty in the United States and ending all hopes of democracy and stuff like that. So get out and vote. Meanwhile, Bob Good. Let's find out what the energy is around this guy. The rumor has it that Trump will probably try to primary him in the House because he's not supporting Trump. So let's look at the energy around Bob Good, and then we'll dive into his election hopes in Virginia for this upcoming year. Entertainment purposes only. Okay, my deck is upside down. Bob Good. Well, he's going to be the next in line of people to carry on the manifestation or the illusion of the Freedom Caucus. He might have some powerful leadership skills here. Crossed with the Four of Swords. Okay. What is this telling? Okay, here we go. This is what it's telling me. Okay, he's now the leader of the Freedom Caucus. But he may not be leader long because, Team Trump is coming along and he's already spoken out against Trump, which gives Trump time to work out a deal. So Bob Good is going to have to work out a deal with Trump to prevent Trump from throwing his money behind some candidate who is 100% pro-Trump. That's kind of where I'm seeing this here. He's described as a very intelligent man. So this could also say that, he thinks about things and plans his strategy before speaking. And that would be dangerous for somebody who's supporting the Freedom Caucus. In the past, we have Temperance. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from this, is that this guy is a thinker, he's a planner, and then he brings it forward. He's been waiting, he's been biding his time. He's wanted this position. And, he's worked his way up in the Freedom Caucus and got himself to a point where he could be put in charge of the Freedom Caucus and not be supporting Trump. That's an accomplishment. Honestly, that really is an accomplishment. He views the Freedom Caucus differently than typical Freedom Caucus viewers. Again, by not being a supporter of Trump, at least initially, he is setting himself up for a primary challenge. And he might be able to survive this primary challenge. He's probably already done the calculus on this and took that chance. Got some major arcana coming here. We got 3 of them so far. Yeah, he's going to get primaried. Absolutely will be primaried. And it's his job to say he's still the right man for the job. however he's going to sell that. But yeah, Trump's going to come in and throw a bunch of money at another candidate because how dare you support anybody other than Trump? Oh, that's a problem. That's a problem. Trump might have enough sway in Virginia to actually, cut funding for this guy that makes it difficult for him to get reelected. This could be him out in the cold. The voters might turn him out as things go on, and it could be the other way around, that he manages to stay in despite that, and the Trump voters are out in the cold. But I don't think he's going to survive a primary. Or that's the concern, is that he runs out of money. Outcome is the 9 of Cups. Nope, I'm going to take that back. I think he does survive the primary. So what am I seeing here? New guy has this position. He's a thinker. He's been coveting this position and working his way up to it for a while. He's taking a chance by backing DeSantis and going against Team Trump. Okay, so in this, he's going to get primaried, and fundraising is going to be a key issue. Now, by backing DeSantis has that super PAC that he completely has no business with and doesn't do any dealings with, even though he does. So he's going to need to rely on DeSantis' super PAC to get him the money. Come on down again. He needs DeSantis' super PAC to step up and provide him the money, because he's not going to get it from Trump's PAC. So this is a battle of money at this one. But in the end, 9 Cups. He's sitting there, large and in charge. I do think he's going to get primaried. I think he survives the primary, and he probably is going to go ahead and move on to win the election in there. Although this is just a primary reading, this isn't the general election. He will win the primary. We can ask about the general too, but I think I'll wait till we get a little bit closer to the general election before we worry too much about this guy. Or if he does something horrific and heinous, then we can come back and revisit him. Not that being a member of the Freedom Caucus isn't particularly horrific or heinous enough. But I guess there's grades of heinocity? I don't think that's a word. All right. Don't you want to know what Donald Trump thinks of him? Let's do battling things. Trump versus DeSantis. What do they think about this guy? Key issue. Jack Smith is the key issue. Oh, God. Well, this could also be his decision-making, too. But let's see. Trump, there's going to be messaging. Oh, this could be that Jack Smith was kind of drives that. DeSantis. Oh, good Lord. Oh, Lordy, these are bad cards. All right. What's going to happen? How are Trump and DeSantis going to view this guy? We have the King of Swords. This is interesting. And the Hierophant. One of two things. Either you got Jack Smith coming in here and causing problems, probably for Trump. And if he causes problems for Trump, Trump is going to have to lean on this guy in the Freedom Caucus, because we got the King of Swords crossed by the government. So this could be the investigations into Trump. So that's what's going to complicate things. Jack Smith's investigations into Trump are going to complicate things. What does Trump think of him? Trump is going to do some quick messaging. He's going to talk about how Trump's administration was the best administration ever, and times are great under the Trump administration. This guy should be supporting the Trump administration. Trump may offer him something of value to change his mind and provide support for Trump. So Trump, I don't think Trump's written this guy off yet, but he might start sending mean tweets in order to get this guy to back down and change his mind, because he wants to show him who the boss is. Why would he want to do that? Because if Jack Smith is bearing down on Trump, which he is, Trump is going to need that political support from Bob Good in order to survive it. But unfortunately, Trump knows two ways. He tries to schmooze you by saying you're a very powerful, smart man, or he threatens you. In this case, I think he's going to go for the threats. What does DeSantis think of this guy with the election? 10 of Wands. DeSantis might look at good Lord, David, I'm drawing blanks on him, Jack Smith, as bringing an end to the Trump campaign. He wants Jack Smith to bring an end to the Trump campaign. Beating Trump is too hard a task. And, DeSantis is already, he's concerned about, the money and his ability to maintain his candidacy. So he is really, really, really wanting Jack Smith to bring Trump to an end. So in the end of the day, I asked about Bob Good, and I think what I really got was Jack Smith. So let me back up. Trump reading on Jack Smith, messaging against Jack Smith. This thing's all going to be a witch hunt. Trump's going to continue to try and message to his base that Jack Smith is a thug and a goon and whatever he is, and trying to project strength. And he needs to do that in order to stand a chance at getting the Republican nomination for it. DeSantis is looking at Jack Smith as a way to bring Trump's campaign to a close. Too hard to beat Trump. He doesn't think he can do it himself. He needs all the help he can get. So, I wanted to know about Bob Good. But, how does Bob Good fit into all that? Well, he's the head of the Freedom Caucus, which is a very powerful caucus within the Republican Party, as we all know. And getting the support of the Freedom Caucus is going to be key for any Republican candidate who wants to win the presidency. Now, the Freedom Caucus is currently throwing, at least with this guy, is currently throwing their weight behind DeSantis. And DeSantis is languishing in Iowa. Trump is way ahead, and Nikki Haley's got the backing of the Koch brothers. So Nikki Haley has now vaunted herself into second place overall. All right. Will Bob Good continue to support DeSantis? What's the relationship between Bob Good and Ron DeSantis? How's that going to look? It looks like if Bob Good's going to get primaried, he needs money. DeSantis is going to be the only one who's going to be able to provide it to him. He won't get it from the Trumpers because he has not supported Trump. He's not sufficiently loyal. What is his relationship with DeSantis? Oh, disappointment, betrayal. This is probably Trump thinking of the betrayal, that these two guys are in cahoots with each other. High priestess. Knowledge, hidden wisdom. I think, here's your burden card again. What's Good's relationship with DeSantis? It's kind of a betrayal for the Freedom Caucus to move away from Trump and go to DeSantis. Trump would view that as a betrayal. Good, I think, thinks it's the wise play. I do think he thinks it's the wise play. This is a calculated risk on his part. When he says he wants 8 years of the presidency, I think he feels that Trump could win the primary but can't win the general election. And he has a better chance with DeSantis winning the general election. Either way, this is going to be a really tough grind because DeSantis isn't resonating with people. They're both, by making that choice, he's put them both in a really tough situation. This was going to be kind of his crowning moment, though. Supporting DeSantis, and he supported DeSantis early on, seemed like the wise play. Leaving Trump, going to DeSantis was the wise play. Fox News was proclaiming DeSantis was the next big thing with the Republican Party, and everybody was building up DeSantis for this, that, and the other thing. The reason why Trump was criticizing DeSantis all the time was that Trump even thought DeSantis was the biggest threat to him. But now we have difficult times, probably because Ron is getting owned by Disney. Current situation is judgment. He's probably, he's stuck by his judgment on there, but he might be regretting his decisions because his decisions are going to make things tough. Well, the path to victory isn't always easy. Overarching situation is the devil. Do you back off on your earlier stuff, change your mind, and hook up with Trump? How do you get the Trumpers to support you, especially if he's looking at primarying you? How do you get the victory? He might throw out some pro-Trump stuff, like he'll push to get DeSantis, or no, they're going to try and do something to probably help Trump out here. Because with Trump, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. If you're with him, you're with him. You'll probably get reelected by the MAGA crowd, but then you're bound to what he wants. And I think what's going on here is Bob Good does not want Trump telling him what to do. So I think he walked away from the devil in hopes to get that win. Ace of Cups. New friendships, new bonds. Okay. I think, I was saying here he might do something. I don't think he is. I think he's going to ignore Trump and he's just going to continue down his path. He thinks this is the path to victory for the Republican parties to support DeSantis and decouple from Trump. He's got strong feelings about this. This may not work out the way he wants it to. Again, this is a big burden that he's bearing, and it could really shorten the longevity of his political career. Now, I did show the Nine of Cups come out of there. That Nine of Cups could have been him getting elected to the Freedom Caucus speaker, but I think it's going to be his reelection. But we'll see when he gets primaried if he survives his primary or not. Oh, no, never mind. I was about to say, that's what it's going to look at the general. No, I'm going to wait on the general. So Bob Good. I think he's a thinker. I think he's a planner and a schemer. He is aggressive, and he is strategic, and he may have picked the wrong horse to back for this presidential nomination. But I don't think Trump's going to be a viable he might be right. He hasn't said this, but he might be right. Trump may not be a viable candidate when it finally comes time for the general election in November of 2024. But that's a year away, and we're not there yet. Okay. We'll find out. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you for all your kind words and your support and everything you do to feed the YouTube algorithm so my video makes it out to a wider audience, to new folks out there just discovering the channel. Glad you found us. Hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.